Oofda. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or afternoon or evening, whenever you are hearing my voice or seeing my face. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. But you can call me Pajama Grandma, of course. In case we haven't met yet, hashtag pajama in the comments somewhere or message me pajama. And I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma. Today is day 15, halfway through creating your very own Supersize business strategic blueprint, mapping out how you supersize your business. So we're halfway there. Today, of course, I want to talk about and introduce the idea of strategies. From the big picture blueprint map standpoint, this is where we're going to consider what are the possible different growth strategies, because supersize for most of us means growth and expansion of some sort. And so that's how I'm going to define it. And there's only a handful of strategies that we can use to grow and supersize our business, right? Now, how we actually implement those strategies, there's infinite possibilities. How we make it work for our business, there's as many different ways to actually put that into play and take action toward it as there are businesses and as there are us, business owners. But I want to just go quickly over the different type strategies that you can explore and make a couple comments about that. And then tomorrow, I'm going to pre-frame a little bit and let you know, tomorrow we're going to pick the best strategy for you. But today I would just want you to think about and look at what possibilities are there, because there's a handful of different possibilities and different ways you can go. And I want you to pick the one that appeals to you the most. And there's reasons we like or don't like certain strategies, but let's cover what the main ones are first. The main strategies, that is. From a big picture standpoint, I'm talking not in a year. Year is short term. To me, a year is short term. A year or less is short term. Anything over a year is long term. But let's think in terms of like maybe 10, 20, 50. Maybe you want to have a 100-year plan or strategy. Hey, Sherry. So the first thing you're going to look at is, what is my big picture goal? You've already discussed that. We discussed that in one of the first few days of this challenge. What is supersize to me? Where do I want to get with my business? And based on that, that's going to determine how long you want to create your map out for and the big picture. Now, what are some of the strategies that you can use to reach that goal, reach that end game? Well, the most common one, and the one that most all of us business owners use, is what I like to call the natural or the increasing sales organic growth method. And that's when we just acquire more customers, we serve our customers better, we focus on the lifetime value of customers, we do the things internally that we can do to naturally and organically grow our business by the efforts that we make to bring more people into our fold. I call that method, the first one and the most common by far, is just the natural organic growth strategy. Another strategy that a lot of businesses and industries will put into play to supersize their business is mergers and acquisitions. Now, I don't know about you, but almost all of us have at some time been impacted by mergers and acquisitions, either as an employee or as a customer of a business. Not almost every industry, but a lot of industries it's very common in. Banking industry, for example. My bank has been acquired 5 times in the years that I've been a customer of that bank. I've been with them for a long time, but they've still been acquired 5 times and merged into a bigger organization. So bigger and bigger banks, mostly through mergers and acquisitions, have continued to buy up my local branch and make it a part of their organization. So mergers and acquisitions are a way that you can supersize your business. Another way to supersize your business is through strategic partnerships, alliances, joint ventures. You see that a lot nowadays too, and use of shared resources. You know, you go to these truck stops and gas stations, even our grocery stores have got different business units in them. My grocery store, for example, right now has a Caribou Coffee, a bank, a health clinic, like a Minute type clinic, and a dry cleaning service, all within my grocery store. So when I go to the grocery store, I can also shop and do things with all these other businesses. So in order to supersize the grocery store business and increase their revenue and make better use of their physical space and locations, they have joint ventured and partnered with all of these different organizations. Gas stations, truck stops, you see that all the time too, where they have different fast food restaurants or food chains that are in their convenience store areas now. So that's an example of partnering or joint ventures. And I am totally lost my train of thought, gang. Oh, and then another strategy I call the multiplier. And the multiplier way of supersizing your business is just either franchising, going ahead and franchising your system and letting other people go ahead and own a piece of your business by expanding and growing that way, or by opening multiple units. I always liked the idea of opening multiple units for some things, but I never really liked the idea of franchising for my Italian food manufacturing business, just from a quality and control standpoint. So from a multiplier effect, it can either be franchising or you yourself opening multiple units. So there's just a handful of the possible supersizing your business strategies that you could bring into your business and use for your business. What I'd like you to do today for today's action step is to just spend about 15 minutes, go ahead and Google or look around for examples of different ways that different businesses supersize and grow their business. And ask yourself and pick one or two that appeal to you most. For example, for me, I like and then let's say online growth. And the reason I don't pull online growth out is because I think that almost every business in this day and age is at some point going to end up with an online component or an internet type component in order to be successful. It's not really if, it's more of a when question in my mind now. And even local businesses, as we become more sophisticated, we're going to have to do some things on the internet and do some things online. And that's why I didn't call that out as a separate strategy, because I think pretty much everybody's going to end up going to that eventually. There's a lot of industries that are 100% online now. You know, the whole digital marketing industry, agencies, almost all of the advertising agencies and things have moved to a very large online component, mainly because of speed of delivery, cost of delivery, flexibility. There's just so many advantages to it. Storage information, it's just the way to reach more people. Lots of advantages. So we could add that to online component as a supersized growth strategy. Why don't we add that to the list? So pick the one or two that appeal to you the most, and we will discuss tomorrow how we're going to move you toward the one. You're going to pick the one, and that is the one we're going to use to build out the rest of this blueprint, because we're going to do it for that one, and then you're going to learn how to apply each of the steps so that you can have a total blueprint and you know exactly what your next move is with respect to supersizing your business. That's it. Have a fantastic day. I will see you all tomorrow.